ESE. Maybe we need to do that again.
No, you're fine.
The antenna on the top is the wireless router, so you can access it within a 50-foot range of this room.
Okay.
Or it's on your network, which is located here at the bottom. So that Ethernet cable is already ran. You have one on each floor. They've been assigned an IP address that was provided to me through the electrician from your IT manager. I forget that gentleman's name.
Yeah, you gave us IP addresses, specific IP addresses.
Is it Bruce Wayne?
Huh?
Was it Bruce Wayne?
I don't know. I don't remember. I basically went through our data guys, who then went through them.
Gotcha.
So once you would download the software onto a local BMS computer, that's on the same network as these, you should be able to see everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can always walk through that over the phone or a later time if you'd like, or I'm happy to come back and do it again.
So it's just like patched into an ID on the cloud.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm sure you have a lot of other systems in this building that are also located on a BMS system, so it's going to work very similar to that.
And is it software or is it internet?
It's a free software. So
Okay.
I sent a link through Breyer's project manager, but if you need me to send you a link direct, just send me an
I have it,
email.
yeah.
We'll need
Okay.
Barry to
Milan has
download
it,
the
yeah.
software.
Okay. Yeah, so whoever, just feel free to have them send me an email. I can send all of that to you. There's a manual that also comes with the system that I can also provide you with if you'd like a reference guide. There's also some YouTube videos out there as well if you'd like to learn more about the system. But I just throw that out there as a formality.
I love it.
Three
I'm
different
gonna make Angel do that.
controllers.
So the controllers are all one unit. They're all mounted on DIN rail there. The first one from left to right is going to be your power module. So that takes the 120/277 transformer and converts it to 24-volt power to provide it with power. It then is connected to the communication module, which is the one in the center. That one is specific to communication, so you've got your bottom Ethernet cable, that green one that's on your network, and then the top one only right now supports that Wi-Fi antenna on top.
Right.
And then the one on the furthest right is called our Nlight module. That's the brand of the system is Acuity Brands Nlight controls. So all the Nlight devices route through that control module.
Okay.
And the way that the system works is, let's see if there's a bridge in here. I don't think there is.
No, not here.
We'll find one to show you.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
So the as-builts will indicate where all the bridges are located. Basically, those are the hubs that branch out to all the different zones on the system. So it starts here, goes to a bridge. The bridges all daisy chain together or branch out. And then each bridge should be labeled by what zone or room it controls as well.
Okay.
And then they go into the local room and connect to specific devices that then are
Is that a local
controlled.
room on the 12th floor?
No, I mean, so she means that each bridge will have a separate cable that'll go to each individual
Right.
room.
That's
And then that port on that bridge controls that.
Just that
specific
room.
Just
Yeah.
that one. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
and we'll show you those devices as we
Alright.
kind of make our way through the training here.
They're all labeled too, so you know what cable goes to what room.
Okay.
And then if you tap on that G2 touchscreen right there, just anywhere on that
I can do
screen,
this?
it'll give you a window into a device count of the system. So your system should always maintain about roughly that number of devices.
Okay.
There are 3 different eclipses, so all 3 of them have a different device count. I have notes on that, so I always know how many should be pretty normal to the system. Might be good for you guys to take a final picture or something like that before you close out the job. But also too, so if there's a problem, it'll show up as an error device or an offline device.
Right.
Offline typically means the Cat5 got damaged or unplugged. It'll show you if, let's say that's at 1, you can tap on it. It'll show you the room label as I labeled it per the plans. So it'll say 101 office. And then it'll be labeled LT for relay, OS for aux sensor, SW for switch, pretty basic. And that way you can tell what device type it is.
Okay.
So this one is just for floors 1 through 3. So you can see there's 305 devices just for floors 1 through 3, like relays and aux sensors and switches, and a lot goes on into a computerized lighting system.
Yeah, this is a very large system at this hotel.
Wow.
And then I think the smallest system is going to be the one all the way on the 12th floor. I think that one only has like 156 devices or something like that.
Yeah, that has less. It just does 12 through 17.
The roof,
Right.
does it include?
The roof, no, we don't have any.
That's not tied into that.
It's not on the roof.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's independent.
Okay. All right.
So that's what that looks like.
Did you do the?
Got an occupancy sensor, like I was showing you earlier, and then actually that red pack and that white pack.
Yeah.
The red is an emergency relay, and then the white is a normal relay. That's what controls your light fixtures. So that's kind of what those look like in your occupancy sensor. So this is called the Fresco lighting controller. It's the same brand of controls as the rest of the system. You tap on it to wake it up, kind of like a big iPad. And basically we just labeled it DMX for the fixtures outside exterior.
Okay.
Right now, if you go under adjust, you can turn all these on manually. At the moment, they run sunset to sunrise.
Right.
I believe we kept the color, I think just white,
White.
that comes on and off at night. If you'd like to, you can change the schedule. You could create a schedule for specific holidays, all that kind of good stuff as well. But right now, if we were to turn them on, you can hit this color wheel button right here,
Oh, there.
and you can select any color that you would like. Typically, I recommend picking the most saturated. It's just going to look like the nicest, be the most brilliant in color. Yeah, you can do any color you want here. And right now it runs all of them together. If at some point you'd like them separated out, we can certainly do that. So, if you want to do like red, green, or for the school colors, blue, yellow, we can definitely do that. But right now, like I said, everything kind of runs together until we figure out what you wanted up there. You can also capture the scene. So if you liked this color, let's say we want to do pink for, like breast cancer awareness month or something like that, you can hit OK. Go into edit scenes here, select a new box, hit save, and give it a name. So you could call it, let's do it in all caps, but you can call it pink, hit OK. You can change the fade time. So usually that's the fade up time if you want it to be a gradual change or not. Typically that shouldn't matter, but you'll hit finish, and then what it will do is save on the screen here.
I got you.
Yeah, so you can have them all
Can you
here.
fade just for the roof?
Yeah, just for the roof.
Can you fade from one color to another?
You can, so that you can change that fade rate. So by changing that, if we had one more scene here, let's say it was called blue, you could change that fade between the two to be 12 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever, to have that gradual transition time.
Cool.
It does not do any like color changing on its own though. These fixtures they're not capable of that, where they can just like do like a dance or anything like that. It's just a stabilized color, or we could do like offset colors. But for now, like I said, everything will shut off by itself at sunset, and turn off at sunrise and turn on at sunset automatically. But you can adjust specific times you'd like it to come on or whatnot. If you'd like to see what time sunset and sunrise is, this is the time that it runs off of, this date and time here. But if you hit menu and then you go to setup, you can see right here it says that sunrise today is 7:07 and sunset is 4:51.
Now, when time changes, does that change also?
It will automatically adjust for daylight savings time.
There you go. That's all I
Yeah.
need to know.
If not, you can always, if for some reason, if it didn't, it should always do that. These controllers are pretty good at that. But if you did go here to set time, you can always adjust the date and
If
time.
it doesn't change, I'm just gonna call you and say, change that now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really all you have to do with that. That's all it controls, it's just the roof lights, that's it.
All right.
Okay?
For these, you just hit that button. See, right now they're all on 100%.
Right.
You could dim them. See, watch. They're dim. So you could dim them all the way to off.
And then if you want to do
Why does it jump?
this too,
Why did it jump back up to 100% if I try dimming them?
I think it always starts from 100 and then you can dim it down from there.
Well, that's what he just said. He did
Yeah.
it. And then he jumped right. So he,
Right. Typically, I'd recommend you use the other scenes. So if you want to show
Oh.
the other list, that's such a pain to kind of drag your finger up and down. So if you use the list,
This one?
hit on the yeah, there you go. That should be the default.
Oh yeah, so you can do
those
like
you can hit on, off, and
Okay.
25%.
If you scroll through there, you can choose a select fade scene.
You know what? I wonder if the fire alarm is overriding it right now.
So right now we don't have
Off.
the only scenes are programmed on default. So there's on
No?
75%.
Something with the programming.
25, I think like 15 and then off.
Maybe I'm not doing something right. Can you,
Rooms can all be linked or unlinked. They will link together automatically because there's partition sensors in here. So right now it should know that looks like somebody manually did it, but I'll do this again. But basically this should run the whole room now. So this one works very similar to what you have for the exterior lighting.
Right.
So if you go to lights here and then hit adjust,
Then-
you can turn on and off each individual
Gotcha.
room. So C is down there, the last one, B, and then A. And then there's also one to do all of them as well. It should shut all the lights off and on.
No more mechanical slides.
Yeah. Yeah, so the partition should know which rooms are linked together at each time. So there's one for B and C, and then there's one for A and B. You can manually unlink them as well. So if you go to room link here, and then you can see that there's this little like link button here.
Just unlink
You could unlink all, but I set it up so you do have access to each zone from here as well and from each one. So if you need to override it for any reason, you have that access.
No
through all
color
of them.
changing in here, right?
No color changing. Only those outside lights.
Beat you to it.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure it was clear.
So yeah, if the partition door is closed, they will all act individually. So say
Right.
this one's closed, this room will act.
Because you got the
Individually.
occupancy sensor.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it
'cause you got
automatically
a
knows,
partition
pull the
sensor at the
partition
end.
and it'll
So it has to be
separate.
closed.
Yes, 1, 2, same thing with the set scenes that have already been made for the space. This will all act very similar to what you have downstairs. This will also be auto on for 15 minutes. As long as there's people in here, especially in here, they'll be moving and I'll keep the lights on.
As you can tell, they're go-getters here today.
Yeah, right.
And there's two switches here, there's another one at that door.
And then the other unique thing about
This
this
is the fan.
space, as well as the multi-purpose that's located
I got
on the
remote
opposite
control for
end,
it, so
is
you
that these
change the
rooms,
speed
because there's so much light in
get
here,
to,
have daylight sensors.
yes.
So you'll notice that there's a daylight sensor here, looks very similar to an occupancy sensor, but it's flat. Those are specific daylight sensors. They will adjust for throughout the day, depending on how much light comes in. You'll see that the lights are a little bit dim in here. It's because it's accounting for the amount of light that sensor is reading.
Yeah, there's a button move on top of that. You can change the, yeah, it's like a regular fan.
It shouldn't be a dramatic amount ever, but definitely like right now, it's pretty noticeable. It's very bright in here, so.
Why are there two switches?
I
It's
just
the same
how-
set of lights though, right?
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah, same light.
Yeah, it's just how the electrical engineer
It's like a
designed it.
three-way switch. Like a three-way switch.
Yeah. This
Why didn't I
is,
like that one was this high?
Yeah, no, yeah, you could do that, but, yeah, I'm not sure why they put two extra.
Yeah, they put two in here. I don't
The
know.
guy that wired it all up.
Just that.
It wasn't on.
I'll give you, remind me, I'll give you your remote control for that, so you can change the settings. Basically, this button should, I mean, they wanted a manual switch here too, but this should always just stay on, and then you could turn it on and off with the remote. I didn't want to mount the remote here, you know, guests will take it, you know?
They will.
Yeah, so.
I would recommend with the scenes and with the different separations that you want for the different switch legs to decide what you want for each space and write us up what's called a sequence of operations.
That's gonna be a Marriott thing.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to
exactly.
find a lighting.
Yeah, we need to know exactly
The
what
lighting
area.
designer might have specific things they want as well that they
I'm pretty sure
didn't.
they do.
Right, and then we can come back out and we can redo it however you want.
We'll need a day to go with whoever's responsible for Marriott to make those decisions of what they want
Have you
separated.
guys notified them
It'll
yet?
actually, so
I believe so.
it won't be really Marriott, it will be Pyramid, because that's who owns the hotel.
Oh, okay.
It's a franchise Marriott.
I see, right.
So that, yeah, their hotels
You're
might
just waiting
require.
for project